Hi, welcome to Don't Pull the Chicken Switch 1.5 Minute Nugget. I'm your host, Kit Alowitz, checking in today from beautiful Utah. I'm back home this weekend, and I'm in my backyard looking out over the Provo River here. It's a beautiful day, cold, but beautiful. My wife and I already went paddleboarding today, and it was freezing out on the lake. I'm about to go on a long ride today, and I'm really looking forward to it. Today's 1.5 Minute Nugget is entitled 40 Miles and Packing Too Much Body Fat. An intriguing title, perhaps, and it comes at the request of one of my good buddies, Willie. Willie and I have been friends. We grew up together. We've been friends for almost 4 decades, which I can't believe I'm that old, but that's what it is. And Willie is working on preparing for a 40-mile backpacking trip that he's got with some friends and family, and he's looking to figure out, how do I stay consistent to lose some weight so the backpacking trip is less painful? So my early point, which I'll come back to at the powerful emotional close of today's 1.5 Minute Nugget, is you've got to put yourself first when it comes to achieving outcomes and goals and not pulling the chicken switch. You've got to put yourself first. So let me ask you a true or false question. If it was unequivocally required that you could not make that 40-mile backpacking trip without losing some weight, you would do it. Is that true or false? And I'm going to suggest to you that it is unequivocally true. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about losing weight or achieving something that you think is very difficult. If it was absolutely required, you would do it. For example, smokers stop smoking often, most convincingly, most long-term, and find long-term success when they find out that they have lung cancer or that they're going to die if they don't. Until they're pushed to absolutely do it, oftentimes it can be difficult to stop habits that we spend a lifetime building. So when it comes to losing weight or working on something, often it falls into this bucket of shoulds versus wants. I want to lose weight, but it's not a should. Therefore, it becomes very difficult. So now you're faced with, so now what do I do? If I'm at that juncture where if it was required, I would do it, but it's not required, so what do I do? I'm going to suggest that this now falls into the category of it's time to take some introspection time, some reflection time. And I love that saying that when you take time to really look at the way you see things, the way that you see things changes. And that's maybe what it will take, is some time thinking about how do I actually, what's actually going on in this up and down cycle of actually being able to lose weight, keep it off. Now, the whole process of doing that falls under the Stephen Covey's time management matrix, quadrant 2, which are activities that are important but not urgent. And anything in life that's urgent, or let me back up and say that's important but not urgent, is totally seedbed ground foundational stuff for pulling the chicken switch. Because anything that is important but yet not urgent, we can find a way to get around and not do it when it comes time to do it. So what do you do next? Well, after thinking about it, after acknowledging that it's a quadrant 2 activity that's important but not urgent, then it may make a lot of sense to look at the 7 steps to less chicken switching, which of course you can find in my book, Don't Pull the Chicken Switch. But the 7 steps to less chicken switching start with looking at knowledge. What knowledge do you have? Then it goes to desire. What is your desire? Then it looks at looking at awareness, because with knowledge and looking at your desire factor, it creates awareness. Then comes choice, because you're actually in a position to make a choice. Then comes commitment. Then comes practice, putting the rubber to the road. Then comes accountability. So in Willie's case, with losing some weight in order to complete that 40 miles of backpacking with more enjoyment, which of the 7 steps is it? Well, it is a sequential process. However, I'm going to suggest we might want to start with desire. Really looking at desire. What is your desire to really lose weight and eat healthily? And if it's not an 8, 9, or 10, then that's a pause to take notice of, and it's a yellow light. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that maybe my desire isn't high enough, because if it isn't high enough, well, it's not good or bad, it just is. And maybe you need to then back up and look at the knowledge that you have in order to create a higher desire. And in the end, you may discover that after all that you look at, your desire is still somewhere south of an 8, 9, or 10, and it's time to accept the inevitable fact that your desire just isn't high enough. Accept it and stop beating yourself up and just go on that backpacking trip. Enjoy it. Push through the pain, because it will be there, but acknowledge that there was more pain in giving up food and getting up earlier and exercising than it was to have a couple days of miserableness, so to speak, on the hike because you maybe weren't as thin as you wanted to be. So, going back to my beginning point, that you've got to put yourself first. So I know in particular in Willie's case, he's got a busy life. He's doing a lot of things for his business and then for his community and for his congregation. And in the end, it may require that you've got to figure out, how do I put myself first? In the morning, when willpower is high enough, that may be the time that you're doing the activities that would maximize weight loss the most, and so that your willpower is not all burned up, and which it does get burned up, so that at the end of the day, you've got not enough willpower then to say no to food and say no to exercise, those kind of things. So I want to thank Willie for the opportunity to look at this particular topic, because it applies in Don't Pull the Chicken Switch to every category in our life, not just weight loss. So my challenge to you is to look at something in your life where maybe you're not consistently following through where you would like to. Think about Willie and his particular backpacking dilemma, and then take it on. Look at where is your desire, and then back up from there. And then I'd also like to encourage you to reach out to me. If you have a topic that you'd like me to take on and try to take a stab at, ping me, because I'd like to apply what I've learned around Don't Pull the Chicken Switch and see if I can help you in your particular topic. All right, hope you have a great day. I'm off to my long ride, and we'll see you next time. Bye.